What's going on, guys? This is Rob, and it's like 8 o'clock, and I just got back from seeing the Fantastic Four film, and I got to tell you guys, whenever I've done reviews, like I did a review on Avengers 2: Age of Ultron, I did a review on Ant-Man, and those movies were good. I mean, granted, they were produced by Marvel. Age of Ultron was like watching 50 cars try to drive through an intersection at one time. It was a calamity, but the fact remains, that it was entertaining, to say the least, and in terms of all the action and all that kind of stuff. Ant-Man was a great film. It was the best solo film for a character since Iron Man 1, if you're not counting sequels. Man, I don't know what Fox is doing. Like, I really don't know what Fox is doing. I don't... You know what I feel? I feel like this movie was made on a dare. I feel like this, like this reboot was made on a dare. I feel like somebody at Fox was like, dude, I dare you to do a reboot of the Fantastic Four and write the worst script imaginable, because that's exactly what this is. This is the worst script imaginable. I recorded this before, and I tried to keep it calm. I tried to keep it reasonable, but I couldn't contain myself, because I watch movies like this, and it's not because I'm a comic book fan. It's because I'm a person that's seen that's seen movies. Like, I've seen a movie in my life. I'm aware movies aren't Bigfoot. They exist. All right, I've seen them before. And I know what a good movie looks like, and I know what a bad movie looks like, and I know what it looks like when a studio tries, like when they even try to make a good movie. Like I've been to the I've been to the bottom of Netflix. All right, I've been through so many movies at Netflix. I've scrolled all the way down to the horror section on Netflix. Now, those of you guys who are familiar with Netflix know, Netflix has all the best movies at the top, and they have all the shittiest movies at the bottom. I once saw a movie on Netflix called Frankenfish. It was about a fish that was put together with pieces of other fish, and it escaped and it ate people, and that was the plot of the movie. Like, that was the basis of a movie. It was a Frankenfish. Like, it was called Frankenfish. That movie was better than this movie. I mean, and it sucks to say that. As a comic book fan, it sucks to say that this movie sucked, because I love going in and watching movies about comic book characters. I distanced myself. I mean, I recognized it was based on the Ultimate Universe. I distanced myself from the Ultimate Universe, and I said, this is going to have similarities, but it's going to be a little bit different. This is so far removed, it's not even funny. And so here's my suggestion, Fox. Here's what I want you to do. All right, I want you to pay very close attention for what I tell you next, because I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide on how to make a good Fantastic Four film. Step 1, stop making them. Step 2, go to Marvel. Step 3, give them the rights back. Step by step. How do you make a good Fantastic Four film? Then you sit in your chairs and you watch the movie that Marvel will make, and then you say, so that's how it's done. Like, that is how you make a good Fantastic Four film. What you've done here is not a good Fantastic Four film. So let's talk about this. If we're gonna rail on Fox and their ineptitude, and we're gonna basically compare them to a buffoon trying to fit a square peg into a round hole and not understanding why it's not working, then let's really get into this. So, in the Ultimate Universe in Marvel Comics, the Fantastic Four, it was a reimagining in the year 2000 and something or other. It was the 4th installment that was made. They launched with Spider-Man first, then they went with they went with Avengers. No, they didn't. They went with Spider-Man first, and they went with the Ultimates, and they went with the X-Men, and then they went with Fantastic Four. It was the last one to be launched. Brian Michael Bendis and Mark Miller wrote it, and the first 6 issues were cool. The first 6 issues were interesting to see a different Reed Richards, who'd been picked on since school. Him and Ben Grimm were friends since they were in grade school, so on and so forth, all right? Eventually, Reed Richards' intelligence catches the attention of the government, and they say, we want you to come to this think tank in Baxter Building, and all you're going to do is work with other kids and make really cool stuff. You're going to work on teleportation, because up to that point, he'd been teleporting objects to the negative zone, but didn't know how to get them back. He didn't know where they were going. He just knew they were being teleported, and that was good enough. So when he was at the Baxter Building in Marvel Comics, he ran into Susan Storm, he ran into Johnny Storm, and you didn't see Ben Grimm again until like issue number 5. All right. He learned how to get and do cool stuff, but he was already a genius. Like, he was a child genius. All right. Victor Von Doom was this arrogant, brash kid who was like, I just want the world to see how awesome I am. Like, he had problems or whatever, and so on and so forth. Anyway, Reed Richards has been working on his teleportation technology. Victor Von Doom comes along, says your calculations are wrong. Reed Richards flips his shit, and then he says, you know what, Victor Von Doom might be right. And so they get together, they work together for the next couple years. Bam, teleportation is born, and the Ultimate Comics for the Fantastic Four. That's the origin story of the group. What they've done in this movie, I can't even begin to imagine. Like, it's so retarded. Like, I'm not even mad about Johnny Storm being a black kid. That's cool. I'm fine with that. Michael B. Jordan, you're my homeboy, and I will go see anything that you are in. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited for Creed. That's the least of my concerns for this fucking film. Or, pardon my language. That's the least of my concerns for this film. All right. Apparently, Dr. Doom's in love with Susan, and she doesn't love him back. And so he's just going to be emo, and that's his character. Like, that is his character. Dr. Doom is one of the coolest characters in Marvel Comics and the mainstream continuity. The first thing that Fox should have realized when they sat down and wanted to make a movie based on the Fantastic Four from the Ultimate Universe is that Dr. Doom in those comics has goat hooves for legs. Goat hooves. His feet are goat feet. That's what happened to him when he got transformed. His skin turned to metal, and they said, you know what, like, let's make a movie about this, all right? Casting that aside for a second, they came up with something called the quantum portal or the quantum zone or something like that. I can't remember what the damn thing's called, but it's a freaking teleportation device. You walk into it. And you come out of it and you're in a different place. Stargate had it, and they called it Stargate. It was a cool name. The quantum thing, really? Were they just trying to make it sound as technology-like as possible? Like, it's got to sound really advanced, guys. It has to sound really technology-like. So let's just use like quantum something. Look, ladies and gentlemen, when you walk out of your house and you walk outside, you're transitioning from one area to the next. All right, and we call that a door. Like, we open it, and then we walk through it, and then we close it again, and it's called a door. And it's always been called a door since whenever somebody came along and said, "Hearken, alas, let's call this a door." All right, it's been that way since however long it's been that way. All right. Why don't you just call it like a teleporter or a dimensional door or something like that? Anything besides quantum, whatever. Not only that, when they get to the negative zone, which is the negative zone, it's an alternate universe. It's been called the negative zone since it was made by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, and they said, let's call this the negative zone. It's been that way ever since. Everybody calls it that. I don't understand. Why would you not call it the negative zone? You have a movie about a dude that can stretch. You have a girl that can make herself invisible and make force fields. You got a guy that sets himself on fire, and you've got a dude made of rock. All right. Is it really a stretch to say we're going to an alternate reality called the negative zone? It sounds cooler than Planet Zero. Planet Zero sounds like a fucking stage in I don't know, Mega Man, which is an amazing series. Mega Man fans, don't think I'm knocking it. I love Mega Man. I've been playing it since it came out. Mega Man's amazing, but it sounds like a video game concept. I don't take that seriously. This is stupid. All right. Once they get there, Reed is like, hey, there's a device there, and it's Reed, and it's Susan, and it's Ben and Johnny, and oh, by the way, the reason why they go is because the government's like, you guys can't go. Like, we're gonna send our own people. Search me on why that makes sense. It makes sense to Fox, which I guess happens. Like, I don't know. It's like a Deadpool comic. All right, no one understands what's going on except for Deadpool. He's the only one that it makes sense to, and it works. So this doesn't work. It doesn't work for you, Fox, because no, this doesn't work for you. But nonetheless, I'm ranting. I'm kind of going on a tirade. Let's get back on how shitty this movie was. So apparently they weren't supposed to go. They decided to go anyway. When they get in there, there's this great big huge structure. Let's collect samples and stuff like that. And then shit pops off. And it's like, oh my God, we got powers. And they bail out. Victor Von Doom gets left there. And so it's like, all right, well, let's figure stuff out. They get, like the Ultimate Universe, they get teleported to different places, whatever. They don't immediately show back up where they were before. And so they finally find Reed Richards. When they find Reed Richards, Susan Storm and Johnny Storm are working for the federal government. They give Reed Richards an outfit. Reed Richards was supposed to be this is a scientific genius. This is The smartest people on the planet Earth in Marvel Comics alternate between Victor Von Doom and Reed Richards, and you're going to tell me that the government could make a suit better than he could? Please, come on, man. It's like saying you could make it's like saying you know more about astrophysics than Stephen Hawking. Get the hell out of here. Like, no one believes that, but, nonetheless, we're continuing on. We're continuing on. So finally, like, the federal government's like if you want to re-access the planet Zero, if you want to figure out how to cure your ailment, like, you need to basically work for us. Whatever. They get there. All right. Reed's like, fine, whatever. What the hell? So they get in there. Victor Von Doom's still there. All right. He's still inside the negative zone, and he's apparently lost his mind. Not only that, he's bonded with his suit. And so Victor Von Doom and the Fantastic Four looks like shit. Like, he looks like absolute poop. Poop is what he looks like. He looks like poop. It's pitiful. He looks like a crash test dummy is what he looks like. If you guys ever saw those commercials with crash test dummies, he looks like a crash test dummy that's silver and green. And that's what he looks like. That's his physical appearance. That's how he looks. So anyway, the group fights Dr. Doom. They come out on top, whatever. It's Doom's whole idea is, well, this is basically Doom. Doom is like the ultimate emo. Doom's like, I don't like humanity, so I'm going to get rid of it, and I'm going to remake it in my own image. He's basically the kid in high school who's like, no one likes me, so I'm just going to like remake humanity so that everyone likes me. That's basically his character's plot. That's the plot of the movie, and it's a travesty. It hurts to know that movie exists. Not even from a comic book standpoint, from a person that's seen movies, like any movie, pick any movie, Commando, Total Recall, like anything with Arnold Schwarzenegger, because those 80 movies were action-packed, but they were campy. I mean, you pick any movie, any movie out there, and that's good. That's a good movie. And you sit down, you watch that, and then you watch this, and it's just like, what the hell happened? Like, what happened? That's what happened. That's how it feels. It feels like I let Fox house sit, and then I come back, and the house is burning down, and it's like, what happened, Fox? Like, what happened? Like, I don't understand, and they're standing there, and they've got an apron on, and they've got a bowl in their hand, and there's a spatula in the bowl, and nothing makes sense, and you're like, what, and how in the hell could you baking a cake turn into the house burning down? Like, I don't understand how that dog don't bark. All right, that doesn't mix, and I don't know. Make up your own minds, I guess. Go see the movie if you want to, but this is. I'd rather sit in a dental office and have a root canal done one day every day for the next week than watch this movie again. Well, maybe that's an extreme example. I wouldn't do that. Like, I'd rather watch episodes of Barney than do this again. I'd rather watch Nicole Simpson rap than watch this movie again. Like, it sucks. It's garbage. It makes you wonder why Fox makes movies. Like, why do you make films? Why do you do it? Like, I don't understand. Why do you even exist? I mean, here. I made this for the thing. I tried to do it in the last video and I couldn't. I drove myself insane. Please give the rights back. For the love of God, give the fucking rights back. Like, you can't make a Fantastic Four film. You can't. I genuinely believe this. If Fox was told, make a good Fantastic Four film, and all of your wildest dreams would come true, they'd still find a way to fuck it up. Like, they'd still find it. It's like they write the script. It's like they make the script, and the script is pristine, and the script is like this amazing thing. It's this beautifully written thing that has so much potential, and it could be so amazing. And then the executives or whoever it is that's in charge sits down and says, okay, guys, how can we screw this up? and then they do whatever that is that would screw up the script, and then they make the movie on that script, and then they release the movie to us, and then they look around and they're like, I don't understand why people hate this film. Like, I don't get it. I get it. I understand it. It's because you suck. It's because you suck. I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling at this point, so I'm going to bring this review to an end. But my consensus for this film is 0 out of 4 stars. If I were Siskel, no, Siskel's dead. If I were, Roper, I guess. I don't even know if Gene Siskel's alive or if Ebert's alive anymore. I don't watch those review shows, but whoever it is that's doing the thing that used to be Siskel and Ebert, if I were one of them, I'd give this movie 0 out of 4 stars. I wouldn't even give it 1. I wouldn't even give it part of a 1. Like, I'd say, for mercy's sake, I'm gonna rate it so people know, but I'm not gonna give you a rating. This movie's garbage. This movie's crap. Yeah. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.